Hey everyone, so my before word is imprisoned and my afterword is free. My mom taught my sister and I about God, Jesus, and the gospel when I was very young. She taught us that to have a relationship with God and to be saved from our sin, all we had to do was pray to Jesus, confessing our belief in him, and asking him to come and live in our heart. My sister prayed this prayer over lunch one day, and a few weeks later I decided to copy her. I was only 6 years old at the time. As I look back, I'm really thankful that my mom placed that seed in my mind. Unfortunately, other than her, I didn't really have anyone to water it for a very long time, and so I didn't grow. I had no influence from strong believers, whether it was at school or with friends or on sports teams. And as I observed my peers around me and the way they lived, living for their own glory, satisfaction, building their own kingdoms, I decided to do the same. And basically, I put God on the side. Church and youth group became something to check off because mom said so. Prayer became a way to grab for some forgiveness every once in a while when I felt like I needed it. And reading the Bible was basically a last option magic 8-ball that I would turn to if I had a problem that needed fixing, with no guarantee that I would even understand it or get a useful answer out of it. Basically, I called myself a Christian, but living exactly the way I thought I wanted to seemed more desirable than obeying and following God. That'll get you somewhere. Don't get me wrong. Here's where it got me. It got me friends who didn't really care about me. It got me obsessed with my own personal image and how other people thought of me. It got me depressed. It got me lazy and passive. It got me addicted to pornography. It got me insecure and ashamed. Insecure about my appearance, my abilities, my relationships, my family, and my past. And I had no one to talk to about it with. Though my parents would pry, I just built up walls around me, taller and taller, so that no one could see what was really going on inside and how I was carrying all these burdens. And I got really good at it. And I believe that sharing any of it with anyone would just certainly lead to complete and utter rejection. So I was broken, ashamed, and stuck in a prison cell that I created. And this was my life all the way to the end of high school, a whole 12 years after I had first prayed to receive Jesus. But thankfully, Jesus saved me. Starting at the end of my freshman year of college, God started a chain reaction in me that just changed the entire trajectory of my life. And it started in the flicker of a single moment when a Christian I had never met invited me to join him and some of his friends for lunch. Slowly but surely, God helped me take steps of faith from deciding to go on a retreat with some Christian guys, to joining a Bible study, to deciding to live in a Christian house with 30 other guys upon transferring to U of I. And looking back, there was just absolutely no logic as to why I decided to start following God, actually. And I had no faith that God could fix or nor even wanted to fix my broken situation. And the steps that I took towards him just seemed even more ridiculous than the ones I took when I was 6, because not only did I not understand what I was doing still, but I had tremendous fear about what I was walking into. But this is how I know that I am saved by God's grace and God's grace alone. And so as I began to discover for the first time just who is this God that I said I believed in, and just who is this Jesus who I called Savior, I became free. Slowly but surely, bit by bit, God helped me to share my story and my struggles with other Christians and lay down each and every burden that I had carried for so long. God did not fix or wipe away all of my problems. I'm still a sinner. However, I am no longer a slave to my past or my sin. Instead, I am a man who is free to pursue a relationship with God because Jesus Christ died in my place on a cross, thereby defeating the deadly result of my sin, which is isolation and separation from God. And the fact that I can see this truth, which is presented in the Bible, played out explicitly in my own personal story is awesome to behold. Thanks for listening, guys.